All right, today we got some fresh decks for you guys. This is, I think, actually just my second Fusion World gameplay video. If you're here from the Fusion World channel or here simply for Fusion World, welcome. We've got today Blue Sin Shenron and Black Cell. Now, this is my first game with the new support for Omega. That is me on blue. I think it's tons of fun. It's one of my favorite decks. I'm a huge GT fan, so this deck, one of my best friends winning, NA Nationals with this deck was really cool. And then honestly, I did not expect it to get support, honestly, anytime soon. But it did, and the cards are really good. And then over here on the left is my brother, Phil plays TCG. If you don't follow him, please go ahead and do so. I would appreciate it. He's on Black Cell. Now, this is his... He hasn't played many games on it either. So this is essentially like two people beginning a testing, learning the matchup as we go, and simply having fun. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna run this at 1.5, and we'll see how it goes. So I believe I go first, drawing for turn. And luckily, I believe I kind of hit the very standard 1-2 line to begin the game with Sin Shenron. So charge 1. I kind of, in hindsight, didn't really want to charge this Dragon Thunder because I do like drawing cards when, there's no really impactful thing to do in kind of those middle turns. But we just decided to charge it, tap for the Black Smoke Dragon. I do get a Whirlwind Spin to my hand, and then there's another Black Smoke and a 2-cost Vegeta that ended up going to my drop. So unfortunately, I did mill already one non-Shadow Dragon. So that's all turn 1 we pass. Brother charges his energy, taps for, I believe he's going to go with, the 17. So this is the specific one that does KO a 1-cost, which very good to start your turn with if you're going second and your opponent obviously wants to get away with a cantrip or a cheap blocker like I did with Smoke Dragon. I like to defend early on with decks that don't have to be at a certain life to awaken, or at least can awaken fairly high, which Sin can do when he's at 6 or less life, but he's got to have 7 dragons in the drop. So I usually try to get out of the first few if I can, if I draw into my 5k combos. So I did that by pitching the Haze. Back to my turn, charge to 2. I do charge the new Ice Ray here. Swing with Leader to see an extra card, and then I go ahead and play my 2-cost Vegeta. I'm going to choose not to take life because I don't want to push myself here. I think his deck can be fairly aggressive, so I'm just like, okay, well, let's allow him to take me down. I mill 3. Off the top of my head, I believe there were 3 dragons. One of them made a super combo, which is very unfortunate. But we're like 1 card short, I want to say, from being able to awaken. So we go ahead and just swing, pass. Back over to my brother here. Now, this is my first game personally into Black Cell. I guess aside from on his channel, we played the new Green Gohan into Cell, and I got my ass kicked. So that was very unfortunate. But he wants his ones to kind of stay around so he can combo them from the battle area. And then when he combos battle cards from the battle area, he gets additional effects. So here with the 1-cost Cell SR, when he does it, he does get to restand the Cell, but he does not get to attack. This basically just allows him to... potentially evolve the 1-cost Cell into something bigger, but also in active mode. I looked down at Whirlwind Spin and realized that I can just pop a 1 at activate battle speed essentially, and get out of the attack. So I'm just like, I think this is the right move. Being able to kind of cut your chain down before you really get going sounds good, right? So we go ahead and Whirlwind Spin for free by pitching an additional card, and then he ends up playing a Searcher 17. Before he swings with Leader. At this point, I do take down to, I want to say this is now 7. And again, feeling pretty okay with that. This next turn, I am going to get to 7 and drop. With the Vegeta, it'll allow me to self-awaken, so I will get down to 6 life and flip my Leader here. Now, again, 1.5 speed, I thought it was convenient. There's a little bit more reading with me getting used to the new support and actually physically playing the cards. My brother, one of his first games with Black Cell, so 1.5 sounded very convenient. So here I am charging one of the 5-cost Omegas, the original 5-cost Omega. I don't like putting them down into energy because there's always a chance you just simply never see any of the other ones. But it's kind of a risk I have to take. If I mill them, we can obviously put them back in the deck. I just trust that I will be able to see what I need to see later. Here I go milling and Self-Awakening with the 2-cost Vegeta. I mill another super combo, which is obviously a giant pain in my ass, but we have ways to obviously put those things at the bottom of my deck, so can't take the L too hard here. We flip. We go ahead and play out the Natron, which is a draw 1, pitch 1. And at this point, you saw me pitch the 3-cost Natron, and so we know it's there, right? What you're seeing here is me completely brain farting on how Energy Burst works, is that it's not just when a card attacks bottom deck something, it's when you attack into something. So you see me going through the motions like an idiot and going, yeah, Energy Burst. And then the second I'm about to swing Natron, I go, oh, your 17's in active mode, right? So I can't swing into him. It's completely dumb. Yeah, just one of those bad moments for me. And then we go ahead and just rewind real quick. So don't be like me, read your cards. But I know that's weird coming from a TCG player to other TCG players because no one reads. So rewound everything. And then instead of trying to get some value out of a 5k Natron swing, we just go ahead and swing leader, and then he gets rid of it himself. Okay, I'm completely fine with that. If he's gonna get rid of anything at all, might as well be his 1. It's good for us. I go ahead and Natron into the drop to play out the bigger Natron. When he comes into play, I have 7 more in drop, so we draw and just really start poking here. So that was 2 20s and a 15 on this turn. I have an energy up. It's not really for anything, unfortunately. I just didn't have a 1-cost play to provide any more value. If I want to roll and spin, I'm still pitching a card. And then there's no other extras that cost 1 defensively, unfortunately, in this deck. So it's kind of feigning nothing at all. So his turn on his Awakened Side Leader, he pays the 1 to play up to 2 androids, or just android cards with a combined, whatever it is, cost up to 2. So he plays at 2 1 cost equals 2. And then he starts trying to go up the chain again. So he swings the 1 cost here. He goes and combos the 1 cost 17 from the drop. Reading it real quick. This is the promo. So I don't know it off the top of my head, and I apologize for that. But they're all kind of doing the same thing, right? He wants to swing small and combo to poke, and then there's those extra abilities and stuff that he gets to do because he comboed a battle card from his drop. So the attack, I think it was a 15 into my 20, so it didn't actually matter here. He pays 2 and evolves onto the 4 cost here. When it comes into play, he does get to search. He grabs an SCR, which is very bad. I never want to see this card come down, or at least I have to prepare, right? It comes down for big double, becomes even bigger with its huge combo effect, which is just insane. So essentially against Black Cell, you simply can never go down to 2. So seeing him grab that tells me what my game plan is as we get lower and lower. I need to be able to get out of the attacks that I can and only take the ones that I simply cannot get out of. So after the Cell, he plays out another 1-cost Searcher 17. He grabs Cell's Kamehameha. It's an activate battle, or activate main removal. So I believe it's a 1-cost in this deck. So it is cheap removal, but at the end of the day, I don't really care about him removing my stuff because at least he's paying energy for that as opposed to a body that removes or going up his chain. So you're passing to me. I'm charging to 4. We play out 2 cost for Natron. So you're going to see, I love the Natron pokes in this, right? Natron, Energy Burst, big Natron was real key in kind of these middle turns here. Now that he's got something in rest mode, I do it correctly, right? Slam down Energy Burst with leader effect, take 4 from the drop, shuffle him, bottom of the deck, play it for free. Now I get to swing this 5k into his 25k 4-cost Cell and immediately bottom deck it. So it's anything that's 5 or less. So this is absolutely huge. Me just getting to cut off his chain over and over and over again is super frustrating. But it's what Cell's deck wants to do. Otherwise, you're not really doing much. So if there's any way to do it, you simply have to commit to it. We put the small Natron drop, bring out the big one. I draw, swing leader, draw. I'm feeling good on hand size. I think I'm sticking around 8, 9, 10 for most of this game. and he ends up comboing off the 17 for the leader swing. It's just what it is. I'm going to poke the living crap out of this guy because if I can get any single comboable card out of his hand and leave him with zeros, including, you know, the extra Cells Kamehameha, the SCRs, I want to poke and pry and get anything out of his hand that I can that is going to stop him from surviving later on. So I really like the consistent poking on top of me drawing with this Natron stuff. And once again, you know, I'm leaving 2 up, and I decided to do this on purpose because I believe I have a Whirlwind in hand. And I don't want to have to pitch another card with Whirlwind because then I'm losing value, even though Whirlwind, getting rid of any ones, anything like that, is valuable for me. But if I have to pitch another card to keep doing it, it's going to add up. I don't really want to do that. He swings leader into one of my Natron. He gets +5 on swing, so it's 25 into 20. I'm not going to give him any cards on that. Unfortunately, like, if he's attacking Natron, he's not attacking me. And I'll take that trade-off for the most part any day of the week. Now, this is the dual name SR androids. He's going to swing 20 into me. This android has an effect that it can be comboed in the battle area in rest mode. So he does get to poke here and still know that when he is attacking with anything else, he can combo with, you know, droids from the battle area to proc those effects that then help him start his chain again. So this was surprising. So I think he just ended up bricking really badly because paying 2 to swing with a 20k and then just kind of like have it sit there, right? He can combo it defensively, but that's like all it does, right? If I swing into it, he's not going to combo with it. He can't. So I feel great. I'm charging to 5, right? In Sin Shenron, you get to 5. You want to slam down the 5k, 5 cost 30k Sin, and then start doing the Omegas and stuff like that. So this is me asking him if there's anything that does when it's combo defensively, and he's like, no, I can just simply do it for extra defense, but it doesn't really turn into anything else. So at this point, like, I'm feeling good. He's at 4. I believe I'm at 5 life. And I'm essentially just trying to stick on the gas as much as possible. So I keep seeing my Natron stuff, right? Here we go. Another 2, another Natron, draw 1, pitch 1. Now, here's, Energy Burst again. I just want to be able to, there's like just no other better battle cards or other cards to play, right? So if my value is my 5k card, which is a cycle, which turns into a 20k draw 1, can essentially get rid of this 20k droids for no energy investment besides simply playing the card, I'm going to do that. So bottom deck it, he can't do anything, no extra combo, whatever. Play the Natron, draw 1. This is all still just feeling so great. This strategy of simply poking and making sure to draw cards, replenish my hand after what I'm playing is great. So we go 20 in the leader, he takes it. 20 in the leader. He does combo out of this one, okay. So with 3 energy up, I honestly don't think I do much here. I actually think I end up passing. Yes, I do. So normally, again, you get to 5, you just can't wait to go into a 30k swing, swap it for the 35k, and start doing very impactful stuff. But it just, simply looking at my hand, I think maybe I was missing a card or 2 for the big wombo combo. But getting rid of a body and drawing 2 cards and poking twice at 20 is perfectly fine. I leave at least, I have 3 up, but 2 can go to Whirlwind Spin. So again, I'm ready for him doing any of his 1 cost stuff. So you see him paying 1 for this cell. This is the 10, this might be I think it's a 10k base power, but it's I want to say draw 2, pitch 2. So it does help him cycle quite a bit. He plays another SR. So here, I prepared for this. If he was going to make a mistake and not sequence as best as he could to avoid losing some 1Ks, right? I pitch 2, here's Whirlwind, get rid of the cell. Okay. So I just know that if he's going to start doing anything else like that, you see, he's going to pay an extra energy. So he's got 2 energy and a marker at this point. He swings the cell, it's a 15k, he goes to 20. I want to say I take it, yes. Because at this point, I kind of know what's coming. I want to save my combo power for the bigger attacks. Or the math in my hand simply just feels better, at least taking this. Because I think this cell here is a 30. And I want to say I get out of it with a super. Yeah, so it's my first super of the game. You see me mill 2. I did put 2 of them back. So I'm feeling pretty good again on combo power here. And then seeing him tap 2, and then he cracks the marker for the bigwig here to just an extra draw. He's just down on resources. I still think he's bricking quite hard. And he passes to me. This cell cannot be KO'd. Well, good for me. I have this beautiful new card called Ice Ray that you mill 2, pay 1 forward, or use the leader effect, right? And it lowers the cost of this cell by 3, so it becomes a 3 cost. Now this gets in the threshold for Nova SR to pop it when Nova is KO'd. Well, they gave us a brand new Shenron card that is cheaper when you have a 4-cost Nova in play, and then allows you to pop the Nova when the Shenron's played to draw an extra card, and then you get that effect. So I'm feeling phenomenal here because the Nova bottom decks the card, bottom decks it, does not KO it. So I have the means to get rid of the cell through its protection, which feels phenomenal. I finally see my first 4-cost Nova, and I can kind of start doing this. I obviously have the Wombo combo, or else I wouldn't have played the Nova. We free play the 1 cost by putting a super combo at the bottom of my deck. Here we go, milling 2, minus this cost from 6 to 3. Okay, now with this Nova, I'm going to be able to swing twice at 25k. It's a very good card. It just simply wasn't as valuable prior to this, the new support we got. So here's me going 25, he combos out of it. Here's me restanding, another 25. This is going to demand 10Ks out of his hand, which is so much better than poking, because if they have a bunch of 5s, they get out of these 20s. Well, you're giving me 10s for the 25K. So here's me paying 1 then for the new Sin, which comes into play. I draw after popping the Nova, and since the Nova was popped, we bottom deck the cell. It's such a good play. And then here's me swinging a fat 30 and getting a super combo out of his hand. So I believe that might be his first, it might be his second. Either way, eating a super combo from a card that only costs 1 to play feels very good. You take that resource trade as often as you can, honestly. Now in my hand, I'm obviously still prepping and holding for the moment that we do the minus energy Powerball, the 5 into the 5 SR into the restand plus 20 double, right? I think this is me just talking through what his turn could look like before I combo out of this. So he swings 25 with his leader into me. I don't want to get any smaller than I have to. I have a 10k in hand that I'm not going to play next turn because it's the copy of the new Sin, which isn't cheap unless I have a 4 Nova, and I'm not playing the 4 Nova, so we choose that card to combo out of his 25 swing. He follows that with his Searcher 17. He's got 5 total energy remaining. This turn I do ask a bunch of like how much the SCR costs to play, the path to get to the SCR, or any of his other big cells, just clarifying that I'm not going to get got, essentially. Oh, he passed with 5 up. I'm totally blanking that. Wow, his hand was literally that bad. Passing with 5 up, playing a Searcher, swinging leader. Holy smoke. So at this point I said, I'm so sorry. I'm going to kill you very, very quickly here. So 20 draw with leader, 30k with my Sin that's already on board. And here we go. 5 into the rare Sin. I think he only has like 4 or 5 cards in hand. As far as I know, like I'm going to be, the second he goes to 2, this is going to feel fine. Here's me thinking I'm playing Bojack, and then I go, wait a minute, this card comes back to hand. It doesn't go to drop like Bojack does when you go from the rare to the SR. So I get a 10k back to hand, so I know I'm killing him, or it's just going to be that much harder for him to survive. We have plenty of cards in the drop. I'm not worried about not having 7 to free play the minus energy ball. You got to pay 7 here, obviously, to do the swap. Shuffle these, go to the bottom of the deck. And then, of course, I'm going to play out the SR. So here, I'm thinking gas, 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 keep going. But you'll see me hesitate slightly. Because why, if the whole point is to 2-0 him, why give him an extra card? Right? So it's the whole thing of be smart with your swings when you're closing. You want him to have the least amount of resources to get out of the killing blow. And so I'm thinking about swinging, and then I go, wait a minute. there's no reason to attack you. I'm not going to give you an extra card. Really should just invest everything I have in the double strike. So I look at minus energy Powerball. I make sure I know exactly how it's going to get sequenced. I don't even have a cantrip or anything fun to play to get some extra combo power in my hand, unfortunately. So that 1 energy, I believe, does stand. And then 7. So we go super, 10k, 10k, extras. Anything of value that would be great to have back in the deck. If for whatever reason I'm not able to kill him this turn. So we do the free play for the 7 cost. Bring it out of my hand, show it to him. Here's me 55 double. And we go 60, 70, 80, 90. And he gets to 40, 50, blank. Yep. So once he had 4, I just knew I had it in game. It's just too much. I think I just saw all my Natrons to really loop and poke and replenish everything that I was playing out to kill him, which made me feel really good about getting out of all the attacks that he was able to throw into me. But with me cutting down his chain repeatedly, having him to essentially play an energy back turn after turn was simply too much. I think Blue Omega Shenron is going to be probably a tough matchup for Black Cell. As you know, I don't know Black Cell enough. I think there's probably a way he could have sequenced much better to not allow me those windows to kill his 1 cost that are attacking or 1 cost that are on the board before he can combo them. Cell's kind of a technical deck, and that's why we're testing. So that's the video. Appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't subscribed, we are on our way to 500 subscribers, which is super important because then it allows me to do things as live streaming and it unlocks other forms of content creation. So deck building sessions with viewers and anything that I can do live and interact with you guys is something I want to do. So if you're not subscribing, please do so. And thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.